Hey guys, it's Go here, and today I'm going to be talking about my prostitute friend, part 2. So, last video I did was Storytime, my prostitute best friend. You can check that out, if you haven't seen number 1. But, so, I had this friend named Jess, and when we found out she was, whoring around with some, I don't want to say that, but still, was somewhere in, like, last July. And, this time it was in February, and, one day we were all like, hey, let's go to the park, and we're like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna hit up Jess. So, we call her, and she picks up on the last ring. Like, we thought she wasn't gonna answer, but she picks up on the last ring, and she's like, hey guys, what's up? And we're like, you sound exhausted. And she's like,
oh yeah, I went for a run.
And we're like, okay, well, do you want to come to the park? And she's like, yeah, sure, okay, bye, see you there. And she just immediately hangs up. Oh, also, like, during the call, like, after she said I was going on a run, like, I swear I heard, like, some, I thought I, like, heard some kind of, like, laugh, and then, like, as if, like, she, like, threw something, or, like, a thump of some sort. But anyway, we, meet her at the park, and she was, like, really late. She was, like, half an hour late, and when she did come there, she was wearing more, like, around the house clothes, as if she had nothing to wear. But we didn't really care, so we were, at the park, and we were, like, all sitting on the swings, and she gets a call, and she doesn't even say, like, oh, give me a minute, I need to take this. She doesn't even say, like, oh, give me a sec, I need to take this call. She just looked at her phone, her eyes went wide, and she ran. And she ran, like, really far away. And we're like, okay. So we just thought, like, she was maybe taking a call from, like, her mom or something. And, I mean, she's, like, far away to the point, like, we can't hear her when she's on the phone. And we finally hear, like, something. The money! And we're like, need the money? What is she talking about? And so she comes back, and we're like, hey, what was that about? She's like, I was on the phone with my brother. And we're like, oh, well, what did you mean by I need the money? She's like, he owes me. And we're like, why? And she's like, oh, I just did something for him, some chores. Which is weird, because that's normally what the excuse I would use when I got money from my mom. My mom would give me no money, actually. But I would just say, like, yeah, it's my brother's. But no, anyway, so basically she's like, oh yeah, he owed me some, I did something for him, no big deal. We were like, oh, okay. Well, she goes home, and this is about, like, a week later, and we tried calling her, and she wouldn't answer, and we're like, okay, we'll just meet her at the house, because we were all gonna, like, hang out. And so we're like, okay, we'll just go to her house. Because normally when, we're all, like, planning to hang out and she doesn't call, we normally just, like, go to her house. And, when her, like, brother's home, or her mom and dad is home, we're allowed to, like, go into the house through the garage. So we just kind of walk in, and we knocked on the door first, of course, and we go in, and we hear, creak, 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 in, like, the other room. So we go around, and we open the door. And I don't want to get into detail. I'm gonna try my best. She was on all fours. And this random guy was, behind her. Well, I didn't want to make anything gross. And I want to be age restricted, considering I'm normally not even allowed to be on the age restriction videos myself. But no, she, was in a bit of a compromising position. And this guy, I mean, I can't even remember. I feel like he did, like, an entire backflip off the bed. So he, like, goes off and he goes around, because here's, like, the door, then here's the bed like this, and he, like, went off the back, and then he, like, scrambled around to get behind the bed. And I think he was, like, trying to put his clothes on. So we're all standing there, and she's like, because like, when we opened the door, he, like, fell back, came out of her, and she like rolled into her blankets. She, like, got down and rolled into her blankets. So we're all standing there, and finally, like, the best friend she's known since, they were babies, he's like, yelling at her, like calling her a slut, calling her a whore. We thought you weren't doing this anymore. And I mean, he is nailing her. And one of the other girls, she was like kind of sensitive to like sexual stuff. So she ran out and she was like puking. And another girl like turned away and like walked out. And so it was just me, the one guy, and another one of our friends. Because two of them were like upstairs. Like one of them was puking, the other one was trying to help her. And then the two guys were here, and my one friend, he's like over in the corner, like screaming at the dude to get his clothes on, and he better, you know, explain. And he just like, he's like, here's the money, and he's like, money, and he's like running away. So he ran out, didn't really get anything from him, and she's yelling at him, you know, he's yelling at her, and I'm just standing there at the doorway like, and I mean, so they're like both nailing her, and she's like, you guys came in, what's wrong with you? You ruined I didn't get as much money as I should have. And she's like, where's my money? And he's like, I'm not giving it to you. So she's like, okay, help me clean up the room. Because like, when he like backflipped off the bed, he like hit over one of her lamps and like kind of kicked the dresser. And we're like, no. And she's like, I need help with the sheets. And we're like, we look at the bed and we'll just say there's a stain. And so she like cleans her sheets, first thing she does, and she's like cleaning up, and we're like, we're not helping you. So once her big brother gets home, we told him. And I mean, the first time I saw it was pretty bad, but this time it was like a freaking porno. Like, I've never seen that sort of stuff. I don't watch that stuff, but I like know what it is. And the first time I saw it for 1 second, and I didn't see like anything naked besides like her upper parts, and that's about it. I saw everything, and she was in a weirder position than last time, I think. So she's like, you know, now her brother's screaming at her because, and you know, at first she said like, that's not even true. And when he was in her room, there was a protection package sticking out, and he's like, yeah, what's this for? And he's screaming at her, he's pushing her on the wall. And I mean, he's like nailing her. Like the neighbors heard. Like they knocked on the door and is like, hey, is everything okay? And I had to be the one to explain like, oh yeah, it's all fine. She just did something bad. And they're like, oh, okay. And so like they thought like someone was hurt. Like something really bad was happening. So he decided not to tell her parents because he thought like they'd turn it around and be like, well, now you always have to be home when she's home. And he didn't want to have to always be home. He wanted to, you know, have a life. So basically her parents never found out, and we didn't, it was about 2 weeks ago when I actually just started like kind of hanging out with her again. We really didn't want to. I mean, we already saw what she's been doing for cash. And you know, again, like we were like, how did we not put two and two together? Because she always had money again. She was like running out of clothes. Like she would not wear the normal clothes she would. Like there's like the 3 types of things she used to wear. It was like the slut clothes. Then there were like her pretty prissy pink, you know, good clothes. And then there were like clothes she wore around the house like when no one was around, like when she was in her room alone. And that's what she like wore all the time. Well, it was because she was running out of clothes because like, I don't even know. I don't want to get into detail because it's gross, but basically, the moral of the story, make sure you don't have friends who are prostitutes. Like, that's all I can really say. It was so weird because we really thought we trusted her and we really thought she had stopped. So we actually started just talking again 2 weeks ago because I had blocked her off of like everything. I didn't want to talk to her anymore. I was so done. And she finally like hit us up again and we were like, whatever. So we're talking again. I mean, she was kind of like my best friend, and I don't know, I can't lose a best friend, I guess. But yeah, that's the story. If you guys enjoyed this video, dab on that like and subscribe button. Become part of the unicorn family. I love you all. And this is Kimmy Girl signing out. Wow. This is Kimmy Girl signing out to you. Peace.